It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. The heavens have just opened after a boiling hot few days in mid-July 2025. It's been boiling here in South Wales. We've had 33-degree temperatures, haven't been able to move. It's literally just started raining. Today's beer is from Vocation Brewery and it's their Peach Cooler Shaker Milkshake IPA, coming in at 6.8% ABV. Now, some of you might be asking already, why are you reviewing this beer? You always complain about these sorts of beers, these peach beers, these milkshake beers, lactose-infused beers. Might be lactose, might be oats. We'll have a look in a moment. Well, this is, I'm going to review because I review beer. And the other thing I find is really interesting is that I picked this up in Sainsbury's. Let's get it out into a glass and see what we get. It's really interesting with Sainsbury's because they were definitely, out of the top 4 supermarkets, the last company to really get into craft beer and understand craft beer. Tesco were first. They come flying out the traps, ironically, with a Vocation beer. And I'd say that 440ml can, the first Vocation beer was a blueberry muffin waffle stout thing. And quite honestly, it was beautiful. It really was. It was I think it was like £2.50 a can or £3 a can back in the day for a 7% ABV beer. And it rocked. It rocked. It was amazing. Then Morrison's were quick on the heels. Asda come along next. Then you had Lidl and Aldi doing their craft beer thing. And then after all that time, Sainsbury's got involved in craft beer. But this is something like 2 years, 3 years after the other supermarkets. So they're behind the cycle. Sainsbury's are basically doing what Asda and Morrison's and Tesco were doing with these milkshake IPAs 2 years later. So you're seeing this beer in 2025 because I firmly believe, and I mean this with the greatest of respects, that Sainsbury's are behind the curve a little bit. They're behind the curve because you don't see so much of this now, this sort of kind of milkshake IPA. They were in Tesco's, I'd say, 2 years ago now. Asda's 2 years ago, Morrison's 2 years ago. And they've moved on. These supermarkets have moved on, whereas Sainsbury's are like, oh, I know what we're going to do. We're going to make a milkshake IPA. Let's see how it goes, shall we? Good levels of carbonation. Hazy, thick, milkshakey looking IPA. By the way, there's a reason why Tesco's, Morrison's and Asda decided to get rid of these milkshake IPAs. Let's find out. Let's get the aroma. It actually doesn't smell too bad. I wonder if Vocation have had time now to really nail this style, to really get it right. Lots of peach, but it smells quite soft. I'm going to say I'm picking up a little bit of lactose. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh, oh, terrible. Oh, terrible. That's the reason why I don't buy them. It smelled pretty good. It did. It smelled pretty good. Oh, it's like this is probably one of the most disgusting things I've probably ever said on a beer review. and I apologise if it puts you off your breakfast. But I'm going to say it anyway. Hold your breath, everybody. Put your cup of tea down, put your toast down. Whatever it is you're doing, if you're eating something, maybe just don't for a moment. That's got the consistency of sick. Do you know, like... Ooh. That's a different noise. That's actually Builders. It's not the usual suspect. I think they're, and this could be a good thing, I think they're filling the walls with insulation, or trying to, because they're solid walls. I don't know what they're going to do. I think that could work. The Stone Crow virtual pub might be making a return if the boundary wall between the two properties is insulated properly. There's a company in there doing some work. But anyway, back to this. Back to this. What do we say? First of all, like, I always feel like I'm picking on Vocation at the moment. It's like, they were so good. They were so good back in the day. They were so... I just talked about that blueberry muffin stout in Tesco, and some of the Vocation IPAs that they first brought out were absolutely brilliant. They were out of this world. And then they made this really funny decision to make these milkshakey wow. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. It's just... It's really terrible. I can't even... It's just like... There's so much lactose. There's so much like... weird cream in it. It just... And the other problem with these beers, these sort of kind of peach IPA things, is that, oh man, they just give you such a headache. They give you such a rotten headache. I know if I drank this glass of beer at 6.8% ABV, I know I'll be reaching for the paracetamol cabinet in about 5 hours time. So unfortunately, I won't be able to drink the rest of this beer. I wish Vocation would get back to where they were. I wish they would get back to where they were in producing just stunning beer. This is just a peachy flavoured, creamy, milky, yogurty consistency beer that feels like sick in your mouth. Probably one of the worst things I've ever said about a beer, actually. Probably the worst thing I've ever said about a beer. But that's one of the worst beers I've ever tried. That is one of the worst beers I've ever tried. Tasting notes of peach, ice cream and apricot. Citra, Talus and Sabro hops. It's just terrible. It's just terrible. It just really is terrible. 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.